Hello everyone. Am I audible? Okay. Do I have any people in the class? So Anulekha, Bhavani, Via, and are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, you guys are able to hear me,
Yes, yes.
right? Samsung SM, I would request you to join with your, if you can just tell your name or if you can join with your name, it would be good. Right. I'm, you guys can switch on with the camera. I'll also switch on with my camera if you guys are perfectly fine with it. Okay. Here I am. Hello, everyone. So today we are here to understand. Just first of all, tell me, am I loud and clear or do I need to be much more louder? Am I perfectly loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Excellent. Anyway, in the class, in the midway also, if you feel like that I am not audible, or there's any problem in hearing me or my presentation, please ping me then and there only so that I can just make the improvisation, right? Well, having said that, good evening, everyone. I am Parth Kushwa, right? And I'm here to teach you, take you to a session, give you an insights about a session where we will be learning Power BI, right? Now, this is Power BI November batch, particularly with the Isha Training Institute, and heartfelt greetings from the from me and from the institute also, right? So we are here to discuss today's the first session for the Power BI training class, and today I'll be telling you what all we are going to learn in this particular training module, which is Power BI, right? What all and how what all things are there which you need to learn, right? There's too much buzz in the market about Power BI. It is launched by Microsoft, right? And then the most important thing is what is the maximum benefit that you can fetch from this, right? So are you guys working or like can you tell something about yourself? Anyone? Anulekha, Rakesh, Bhani, what you guys any you guys are working or is it completely fresher?
Yeah, I'm working with SAP and we kind of
Okay,
modeling data with using Power BI.
okay, okay. So you're working with the data, but you're not using Power BI. You are here to upgrade into it. Okay. What about others?
I'm a fresh. Don't know anything about the Power BI.
Okay, excellent. That's Bhavani. What about Anulekha?
Actually, I was working in an ALM tool, Polarian, not directly with Power BI, but we had some integration with Power BI, so I wanted to learn regarding that.
Excellent. And Rakesh?
I think I just told her I am
Okay,
in.
let's see. Okay, got you. Good. Got to recognize the voice. Cool. And then we have a message which says that I'm also fresh. Cool. No, absolutely fine. Okay. Mm, I'm basically Parth Kushwa. I like hold really good experience in particularly in this data domain, right? Roughly 5 to 10 years. It has been 9, 10 years into the data domain. I started with working on Excel, right? From Excel, move to SQL, and then we move to Power BI, Python, AI, ML, right? As you know, the data industry is moving very fast. And then there are new tools which are being incorporated in market day by day, right? Why all this is happening? Can anyone tell me? Why there are so many tools nowadays regarding for data manipulation, understanding of data? Why there are so many tools? Can someone tell me? Isn't it? We have Tableau, we have Lookup, we have Power BI, we have ML models, AI. Why there are so many tools? Can someone tell me? Guys, anyone, any random guess?
I think there's so much need, and there are different ways. Everything is just the same, but I think kind of how the interfaces and comfortability with.
Okay, okay. Any other guess? Sounds good. Thank you for responding. Okay, so I'll tell you this. We have data being generated in trillions and trillions of volumes, right? One of the biggest reasons why we have Power BI, why we have Tableau, why we have Lookup, why we have so many tools, right? Why we have AI ML models, why there are so many companies, big giants investing billions and billions into the data industry because of this one word, data. We have so much data being generated on day-to-day basis, and ultimately all the decisions which are need to be taken for a company to build policies, build advertisement, marketing, right? Take right decision at right time, whatever decisions they may be, they are being taken only and only on the basis of data. So hence, as the data is increasing, the demand for data-driven professionals has been increasing in multiple exponentially, to be very honest, not in multiples, exponentially. So having said that, I would like to tell you what all I will be teaching in this very module, right? This was about me, Parth Kushwaha, certified from ANICT Academy, IIT Kanpur, learned many things from there also, right? Corporate trainer for 4 years, 4+ years, developed mainly I work with SQL, Excel, Power BI, Python, and ML models, right? ML models are part of Python only, but then again, there are people who work only with Python, and then there are people who work with ML models also. So I work with ML models also. My domain knowledge holds into three verticals: healthcare, finance, and e-commerce. This is very important thing for you guys to also know whenever and wherever you guys are. Once you have a command on the domain, it becomes very easy to understand data also, right? Okay. Having said that, what is Power BI? Power BI is very simply put for you guys is a business analysis intelligence tool, right? Developed by Microsoft. So initially what we were doing in 2000, somewhere around 15, 16, 18, up till 18, 19, like in pre-COVID era, I would say pre-COVID era, we were using mainly Excel and SQL. Mainly Excel and SQL was being used to understand data, to develop insights from it, and solve business problems. And it was really good, right? For the visualization part, we had Tableau, and then we had couple of things here and there, right? We had Google Studio, many other things. But the problem was this, the problem that came in front of us, in front of Microsoft, and the solution which Microsoft came up with, we had many sources to pull data from, right? We have Salesforce, we have Azure, we have SQL, right? And we need one particular solution where we can pull data from like 100 different places, put it together, manipulate it, right? Like I've got data from SQL, I've got data from Excel, I've got data from Azure, I've got data from SharePoint, I have got data from 10 different places, right? And I need to put all this data at one place, make the transformations, like I want to make this data usable for myself, and then further I would like to make some developments over it. Developments as in dashboard, report, whatever you call it, right? So there's a difference between dashboard and report, I'll tell you later on. But for timing, dashboard or reports based upon the needs, right? Whatever my needs are, whatever my clients needs are. So for that one solution, to develop that one solution, Microsoft came up with this Power BI. And let me tell you, it is one of the most amazing tool. It can incorporate literally hundreds of data sources at multiple times. For me, I have been using roughly 10 to 15 data sources maximum at this point of till now simultaneously, and it works really fine, right? So yeah, we can clean data models, we can clean data, whatever data we have exported, right? Imported, and then we can do some calculations over it. This is a really very important part, that is DEX. And then we can build some amazing, beautiful dashboards. I'll show one of the dashboard by the end of this meeting, so that you guys would know what we are going to build in the coming sessions, and what you guys would end up doing as a Power BI developer, or whatever role you take by learning after learning Power BI, right? And then this is enabling sharing and collaboration using Power BI service. It is one of the tools. It is one of the verticals of Power BI. Guys, am I clear till here? Hey, hello everyone,
Yes,
anyone?
yes.
Yeah. Guys, please let us make it. Yeah, keep doing some thumbs up, keep showing a yes or a no. It makes it an interactive classroom would be beneficial for both of us, right? All of us, right? You guys would get to know me better. I would get to know you guys better, right? So let us look at the curriculum, what all and why we'll be learning whatever we are planning to learn, right? This curriculum is based, like whatever I have designed is based on the market requirements. I wouldn't be teaching you anything which is fancy, which is dramatized, which is just to be learned for some sort of show off, right? I'm going to teach you things which are valued in the market, which are going to make your resume worth 3x, 5x, 10x once you've learned these things, and which are actually required in Power BI, right? Which would help you build some substantial dashboards, meaningful graphs, right? And an amazing way of learning calculations, which I have learned over a period of time. So let us look at the curriculum, right? We have Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop is, how does Power BI desktop looks? Let us see. This is Power BI desktop. And by the way, I'll tell you at the end of the day how to download it, how to download Power BI. But then prior to it, let me tell it to you how does Power BI looks like. This is the very front image of the home page for the Power BI. You can see a ribbon over here on the top. It is an untitled, very fresh Power BI report, right? We have got sample data from Power BI. We can pull data from sources as it is mentioned here. Then we have multiple options in the ribbon we will explore in the coming time. And then we have visualization. What all visualization, what sort of visuals we want to use. We can get many more visuals as per our need from the Microsoft Store. Then we have filters, and then we have whatever the data we will load here in the Power BI will be visible to you guys here in the data. I'll show it to you in the by the end of the session in a sample report, right? Developed by me. Okay. And what was the next thing? I think it was Power Query. It was Power BI service and Power BI data kit. Okay. So what is Power BI service? Power BI service is the online cloud version where you as a developer share the reports whichever you have made with the with your Office ecosystem, right? So Power BI reports are not shared like Adobe reports or Excel reports, or like you cannot share it with me or with anyone, right? You can share it in a certified ecosystem, and that ecosystem is known as Power BI service, right? In the service, we have many things to learn, and this is one of the most important topics for the interviews also. Okay, how and when and how to use Power BI service for multiple operations, for how to manipulate reports which are already uploaded in the Power BI service, and then how to make reports, new reports, using the previously uploaded reports in the Power BI service. So say today I've uploaded a report in the Power BI service, right? I've made a report today, and I want to make a similar report 10 days down the line. There's a requirement which says I have to make a similar report, but the data is quite different. In that case, I can use Power BI service, I can use the report which is already uploaded on the Power BI service and make a new report. Again, that is a sort of thing known as data load, right? We will learn how to do that. Okay. Then comes the Power BI data gateway. What is data gateway? Once you have made a report, once you are done with making a report, say you have data today and you have made a report and submitted it, you have uploaded it on Power BI service. But then what? Data is gonna change. Company is gonna make sale every day, right? Right or wrong? Anyone? Is anyone is there, or you guys have? Hello.
The question again.
Okay. So once you've uploaded a report, once you've made a report and publish it on Power BI service, company would make sales again. Company would do transactions again, right?
Yeah, you're talking about OData thing, like, live feed of data?
No, I'm talking about suppose companies do the business on day-to-day basis, right? The data
Mm-hmm.
gets generated on day-to-day basis. What I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you guys, what I was trying to tell you with that question is that once you have made and submitted a report, it is submitted always on the basis on the past data, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
today, obviously, today if I'm making a report, I can make it based on the past data, whatever happened till now, till
Mm-hmm.
2nd of November, till 3rd of the November, right? But
Mm.
what about the rest of the November? What about the coming days? The company has to use that report multiple times, right? Of course, it is not for the old data only. It is for the new data also, whatever new company needs to generate insights from it also in the upcoming time, right? For that, we use Power BI Data Gateway. So once I have submitted a report or uploaded it on Power BI service, I will connect it via Data Gateway with the source. So it is the Power BI service where the reports get published. Then comes the Power BI Data Gateway, where I ensure that the this published report is connected with the gateway so that the new data keeps on adding in the report. Am I making any sense to you guys?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, yes,
Are you,
yes,
are you, like, guys, are you able to relate, or is it like completely going above the head? I hope you guys are able to relate. It is basically
yes,
this
it
only.
is.
Whatever data you, whatever reports you are publishing, right? They just need to get refreshed with the new data. So for that refreshing, we use Power BI Data Gateway, right? Once we'll do it, you guys will understand it quite easy. And then we have Power BI mobile app. It is a sort of thing, Power BI app, where the end user can see the report. We don't give the access of Power BI service to any of our end user, right? So suppose you are my end user or my manager or one of the departments, say HR department is the end user, right? The VP of HR department is the end user. So I'm not going to give the access of Power BI service to the end user, to that VP of HR, right? I'm going to give the link via mobile app to the VP, whosoever is the person, whosoever is the client. They don't get access to the Power BI service. This is the service station only for me and for my team, where I publish my report, right? But the end user has to see that report, right? Of course, I'm building report for the end user only. And for that, they're going to use this Power BI app, or they can use it via service also. Both of the things exist, but mostly, and most obviously, we use this Power BI app only because we don't want them to interfere here. Okay, cool, guys. Hi, hello.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. So Power BI Desktop is the very front end. This is Power BI Desktop. Then comes the Power BI service. We publish. You guys can see the publish button here. When we click on this publish button, we get a pop-up to publish the report on Power BI service. Then we have Power BI Gateway, where we connect the published reports with the new data that is known as data refresh. And then we have this Power BI app, right? Where only people from my company can access it and can see this report, right? Cool. Let us move ahead. Anyone, any doubt?
No.
Oh, okay. Only one person has no doubts. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Now three people don't have any doubt. That's also good. So, and this is Power Query. So we have this ETL. What do we call? What is ETL? Anyone? What is ETL?
Extracting transformation. It's extract
And
tool. Data to extract tool.
yeah, it is ETL. So it is extract, transform, and load. So Power BI comes up with this fabulous Power Query editor, where we extract data, where we source data from multiple sources wherever we can, and then we can transform it in the way we want, right? We can change columns, we can add columns, we can keep rows, we can pivot it, we can unpivot it, we can do whatever we want to, we can create an index for it, we can duplicate the column, we can create conditional columns. The most of the time why we use Power Query editor is because we don't want so much of data, whatever the data that comes from the source is filled with hell lot of information, right? And all of that is not required for us in developing the dashboard. So at this staging area, ETL is staging area, right? At this staging area only, what we want to get rid of those columns, those rows. Of course, in table we have only rows and columns, right? So we need to get rid with those columns, those rows, and those tables for that matter, which are not making any sense for us, right? Which are not worthy for us, which are not usable for us. So we just remove them, okay? And we keep only those rows, only those tables, only those columns, which we need to build our dashboard. So whenever we are pulling any data here, whenever we are deleting something and when we are keeping something, we need to know at the end of the day how we are going to use it in building our dashboard, right? So this is what it is used for. Mainly we use it for incremental refresh also, but incremental refresh for time being is a bit complicated concept for you guys, but I'll tell it. And by the as we'll move forward, we'll discuss Power Query. But incremental refresh is sort of thing that you set a timeline. You say, okay, refresh all the data which was like 6 months old. Refresh all the data which was 2 years old, right? So you set an incremental date to the refresh. That is what incremental refresh looks like. And then what else do we have? We have very important feature here: merge, append, and combine files. Once we will start learning how to merge, there is a method of merging files together. There's a method of appending files, and then there's a method of combine files. A logic, basically a logic is there, which we need to know how to append, how to merge, and then there are a hell lot of questions and asked in interview regarding nulls, which I'll teach you, which we will discuss. so that you guys get to know what and how to answer, right? And then we have managed parameters. Okay, a completely boring concept which we'll learn later. Okay, this is Power Query for you guys. ETL, extract, transform, and load. Okay, you can directly load something into it, or you can transform it. This transform thing is done by Power Query, which we get to access when we click on transform data. Okay, so here is a Power Query. Okay, let's move to something else. As said that remove filter columns, rename and reorder columns, change data types. Data types are very important. Uh, you need to know your column is particularly numerical, it is text, or it is date. Basically, we have only these three data types. Of course, Boolean is there, but Boolean is considered in text only when it comes to Power BI. Then, as I told you, merge and append queries, how to merge two tables, multiple tables into a single sheet, how to append it, we will learn it. Pivot and unpivot of columns. How do we convert rows into columns and columns into rows? See, this is very easy, pivot and unpivot. What is tough is to understand how to use this logic. Whenever you will present it with the data, you would need to know, do I need to pivot it or do I not need to pivot it? Or what do I need to do with it? So learning and understanding the concept, when should I pivot and when should I not pivot it? And how can I use that pivoted column? That is very, very important. Okay. Split, splitting columns. Again, very easy. As the name suggests, how you will split columns. Guys, by the way, this is just for the reference for you people. Again, when I'll be teaching, we'll be going in ultimate depth regarding each and every topic. But just to put in front of you guys what all we will be learning, I've got a couple of things mentioned here, right? Okay. So this is not exhaustive. This is completely indicative, just an indication what we are learning. Don't think that in the name of Power Query, we are going to learn only these things. These are barely two classes. So they're going to happen substantial class in the name of Power Query, and I will be teaching you each and everything, how to use it, why to use it, when to use it, right? Okay. And then what do I have? I do have group and summarize. This is very, guys, everything written here is like the higher one of interview. Interviews ask a lot of questions on group and summarize, how to use this group and summarize, and then adding custom or conditional columns, which looks very easy, but when you will have to add a custom column and conditional column, like suppose I am saying I want to categorize people, right? I want to categorize based on their income. I want to say whatever people between 10,000 to 50,000 are group A people, 50,000 to 80,000 are group B people, 80,000 to 1,20,000 are ABC people, C people, right? So this sort of conditional columns again are being done by creating conditional columns. So we create such columns whenever as per our need, right? Apply data type detection automatically. This is a basic feature of Power Query, but never depend on this. Whenever you upload data on Power BI using Power BI to the Power Query, it automatically detects what column is what. A date column is a date column, a text column is a text column, a number column is a number column, but it can go wrong also. So never ever depend 100% truly on this. This can fail you or this can create error in the reports. So we'll look into it, how it works. Again, removing duplicates and errors. So as we said, extract transform. So we are technically transforming our data by removing duplicates, right? Fill up or fill down values. Cool, I'll take extract text, numbers or dates. This is quite difficult to tell, but basically if I may picture it in front of you, this particular point. So say I have a date which says um, 3/11/2025. I want year only out of it, out of that column. I want year into as a text. I want as text, right? So it is a YYY sort of thing. I want as a number, so I'll get it in a number. Or how do I want it? How I want it in the name of a text, which says I want month in the name of text. It says October. It says 10. It says only one. It says 10/10. So these sort of parameters, that how do I extract something from a column? 10 different sort of extractions can be done from a column, and that is the idea of learning how can we extract data from a column, not just text, numbers or dates, but whatever and however, whatever we can extract from a column, that we will learn here. Sorting data is very, very easy. You can just do it by clicking two arrows here and there, ascending or descending. But to know when to sort a data and when you will sort a data, what sort of implications will it have on the entire sheet is important, right? So, and trim and clean text. Whenever you will get a data set of data, you will always see that there are some sort of spaces between a word, right? like in the right or the left of the word, there are some sort of spaces. That spaces are creating some sort of problem that you will learn by how to trim data, how to clean text, right? Creating index column. As of now, maybe you know, and maybe you don't know what is primary key. But to give a sort of a primary identification, we create an index column. That is what we'll learn here. Here we have transpose table. Again, it is used in many ways, and we will learn them. Okay, but transpose is simply A to T and P to A. Anyone of you know transpose, guys?
Suppose is
Yeah,
just
we
to
are
take
good.
right from vertical to horizontal. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, A to yeah, exactly. The same the matrix thing which you have learned in back in school days. That is what transpose is, right? Combining files from folders, that is very important because you will never get one source. You will have to have 10, you will have to pull out 20, 30, 50 files from a folder. Then, and number of things are there, right? You use parameters for dynamic queries. So remember I told you there we have managed parameters. This manage parameters. This is something on itself, sir. This is something a bit complex, so I wouldn't discuss in depth about it as of now. But just to tell you why I have mentioned here, what does it mean use parameter for dynamic queries? When I'm saying it, use parameters for dynamic queries, this is what I'm referring to, manage parameters. This is a very amazing function, but as of now, if I'll start explaining it, will become very complex, right? And then we have incremental refresh. Incremental refresh, as I told you, just to give you guys an idea, we refresh a data set. Suppose I say that I want the data only for the last 5 years, right? So today, for me, the 5 years is November 2020, right? But in December, it would be December 2020. In the next month, December 2025, the previous 5 years will become December 2020, right? Or whatever sort of customization I want to apply. So this incremental refresh means I want to refresh my data. I want my data to be refreshed, but it should keep on incrementing, right? For the last 5 years only, from till date. Guys, are you getting me? Or it is completely going above the head?
Uh, I'm getting it.
You are getting it, right? Okay, okay. Thank you so much. At least one of you is getting it. That is what incremental refresh is. So as I told you, it is a bit complex, but when we will start learning it, you all will get it. It is nothing, it is just a timeline. We are putting a timeline to a refresh, nothing else. How to apply it? That is done by using manage parameters here, right? And again, this manage parameters, again, you guys would get to know how we are going to refresh it and the questions which are going to be asked in the interview. Okay, so this was a glimpse of what we will learn in Power Query. Okay, let us move to data modeling. This is the heart of Power BI. This is the heart of Power BI, Power Query, and the SQL. SQL, if you guys know, this is the heart of data. Basically, you should know how to model data. And if I take you on Power BI desktop, this is what model view looks like. This is the place where we will model multiple tables. We'll bring whatever tables we are going to bring in here using transform data, using SQL, enter data from these 100 sources, whatever table we might bring using these all sources, right? We are going to model it here. And what do I mean by modeling? Modeling means connecting one table with the another, right? How and when a Power BI would know, Power BI engine would know from where I need to start pulling data and how I have to filter this data, that would depend completely upon the model. Okay, guys, this is what is known as data modeling. Data modeling. Okay, and here we will learn data warehouse concepts like OLTP, the most basic concept. OLAP. OLTP is the transactional data. How do we deal with transactional data? How do we deal with OLAP data? Okay, then star in Snowflake schema. Galaxy schema. I won't teach you Galaxy schema, but I will give you introduction of Galaxy schema because I don't want you not to know Galaxy schema. Get a star and Snowflake schema, star and Snowflake schema. We will learn in depth. We will. There's one point not mentioned here, which is normalization. We will learn normalization also. How we are reaching from a star schema to Snowflake schema. What is normalization? Why do we need normalization? Okay, that is a very important data concept and interview point. Relationships, primary key and foreign key. That is how tables are linked. These tables are linked based on the primary key and foreign key. Okay. So if you remember, I told you guys here, we make index. Somewhere it was written index. So somewhere here it was written in indexing, giving index, right? And that was the idea of this create index column. The idea is to give the idea is to give primary key to a table which does not have a primary key. That is what index do. And index can be used in many other ways, but the prime objective is to give primary key. What are fact and dimension tables? Very, very important. So this OLTP is directly related with fact table. Okay. Why do we need a fact table? How star schemas develop? What is which table is in the center? How multiple tables are connected with them? So this is we will learn. Okay. And then here is cardinality. What is cardinality? So we have four types of cardinality: one to one to many to one, and then many to many. Right? How these tables, whatever tables we have, are linked with each other, how they are going to look like, how they are going to work like, in which direction they will filter. That is known as cardinality. That is one to one, like one table, one from one direction will filter with another direction. One to many, from one table, it would filter to many options, the duplicates, right? That is known as one to many, and then many to many, which is a complicated concept, but we will learn it because we need to know how to use which table. An excellent point for interview. Okay, we have done ETL, we have understood how to do ETL. Okay, then we will move to heart of the Power BI, known as DEX. You guys, I've told you about incremental reflection optimization. That is part of data modeling also, because again it is relating with the time of data again. Okay, then data integrity and constraints. Data integrity is very important when you're appending tables. Okay, and then data granularity. This is particularly used for, like I mentioned here, data granularity, particularly because when we are going, when we are digging deep into the visuals, right? Multiple drill downs, what sort of outcome we will get? That is being understood by data granularity. Okay. In a visual, we can end up drilling down into onto multiple level of hierarchies, right? So hierarchy as a mean, from India to state, whatever state we have, then to the city, and then to the village, then to the block level. So at different levels, suppose a company is making sales all over India. So what kind of sales are being done at the country level, then to the state level, then to the city level, followed by the village level, followed by the block level. These sort of things are being understood by data drill down, and there the data granularity becomes very, very important. This concept, right? This is what data modeling looks like here, and this is the like model view. It is known as model view. Here you guys would understand how I'm going to model data, right? So once I'll show you how to model data, you will model data on your own, and then I'll show you a couple of big models, how they work perfectly. So we'll do that also. Having said that, guys, any question here? Am I making any sense? Do you guys have any questions till now? Hey, is anyone there?
No questions still now.
No questions till now. Are you guys able to understand whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm trying to deliver?
Yes, yes.
Okay, at least one person is able to understand. That's fine. I hope, guys, anyone else, any doubts, please ping me, let me know so I can answer that. Okay. And these are the most important. So DEX functions. DEX is data analysis expression. How you are going to use and develop calculations at after a period of time, right? So once we will be here developing visuals, we would need DEX, right? To develop a visual or data outcome of my choice, right? Suppose I have multiple columns here, 10 different columns here. I need to multiply them. I need to add them, right? So what do I need to do? I need to write an expression. I need to write an expression here, which can do that for me. That is known as DEX. We have more than 200 DEX, right, available for us. We will focus only on this much. The most important ones, we'll focus on them only. And trust me, the rest of the 150 or 140 decks are nothing but the permutation and combination of these only. If you know them well versed, if you're well versed in them, in these actually, you would be able to make any sort of calculation on your own, right? Then you have interactive visuals, dashboard development, report making. So we do this by adding obviously the visual charts which are present here. But when to use which chart is a bit of statistics, right? So you can obviously put x-axis, y-axis, you can pull any chart here, put any data here, but ability to understand when I have to bring what on the x-axis and when I have to bring what on the y-axis is something which I'll tell you, we'll get to know, and then we'll figure out based on our requirements, what sort of charts we need to bring and when. Okay, cool. Let's move to something other. This is using bookmarks, buttons, and navigations. You can do amazing things using bookmarks. You can click, but you can make buttons. Making a bookmark can different sort of slideshows can be built using bookmarks and button and navigation. Okay, so this is a sort of advanced concept which we will learning. And once you will be able to learn this, trust me, you will be making amazing dashboards which are required in the firms, right? So when people don't want to navigate between multiple pages, we make them, we use bookmarks and then we attach it on a button. So you click a button, you go to a next page. You go to a different sort of a page. You go to a sort of a page which has a custom visualization required by the client, right? So they don't have to navigate across multiple pages by clicking next, next, next. They just get the sort of outcome which they want, right? So suppose I want five sort of chart on a paper on a page and then five different sort of things on the other. And I have such requirements. And but I don't want to navigate to multiple pages. I want to develop an index for it so that I can just click here and go there directly. There I'm going to use bookmarks, right? Important concept we will learn. Okay. So where were we? And then there are KPIs. KPIs are key processing indicators. So every business has some amazing, very important key parameters. Okay, key parameters which we want to track on day-to-day basis, right? That is KPIs, and we will learn how to develop them. Okay, condition formatting I already told you. So condition formatting, okay, I didn't tell you condition formatting. Condition formatting is you are making a graph here, you are making a visualization here, but you are saying that based on this pattern, the color should change, right? Color of the visual should change. If I'm getting 100 plus CR or 1 plus CR every month, the color of the graph should change from red to green. That is what is known as conditional formatting. We will not be learning something very simple as changing colors in the Excel sheet. How can we make text dashboard attractive? That is what we are going to do here. Using DEX, I have already told you these are the decks, and we will try to understand in detail what sort of decks and how we will use decks. This is RLS, known as row level security. So suppose I am someone who is working, you are someone making report for an HR department, right? But then there are going to be four people who are going to access it. A person would look all the people who are working in the east, north, and west and south. So we have four people who will be looking at report, but they don't. I don't want you to give the manager of HR doesn't want that all of them, all four of them should be able to look at the entire report. You want to set a filter which says you can only look the report for the north section. Anusha can look it for the south section, right? Isha can look it for the west section, and XYZ can look it for the west section, right? Whatever it is. So this is what we do by using RLS. Then we have static and dynamic RLS. We will learn it. This is a very, very important security point. This is a very, very important interview point. Anything and everything which ever whatever I've told you till now across all the slides are very, very important for the interview. And let me tell you this thing very, very straight. Whatever I'm going to teach you every day, by the end of the class, I'll tell you whatever things are important for the interview. And I'll be giving you interview questions on the WhatsApp group also, right? So that from day one only, you are preparing yourself for interviews so that you can use whatever you're learning to upgrade yourself in the sort of like upgrading your role, right? Publishing, sharing, and schedule refresh. All through is by Power BI service. I told you earlier, and we'll do it once we'll be at that level. Okay. Okay. Then this is something advanced which I have added, particularly from last 3 to 4 batch. How can we use Copilot? How can we use anomaly detection? And then the smart native things, right? These are some important things which can, with the help of Copilot, you can write the decks or you can just tell it, I want this sort of text, and then the Copilot will write decks for you. But again, don't trust it 100% because it is never going to give you 100% correct text. No one can give you, even ChatGPT cannot give you 100% correct text. That is why you are needed there because they can only help you in understanding. So you get confused between how I'm using calculate and I'm using filter also. And somewhere, some sort of error is there. I'm not able to identify. You can use Copilot there. But don't be in this false assumption that you can just tell the narrative to the Copilot and then Copilot is going to develop a complete text for you. If that would have been the case, why you and I would be sitting here? So that is not the case, but you should know how to use Copilot. You should know how to use Q&A visual. Again, the same thing. You can tell the Q&A visual what sort of visual you need, but then don't depend 100% on it. It can give you sort of visual. Suppose there are Shanky charts, right? Again, a very, very complicated chart. When you're using such sort of charts, Shanky charts, you would need to have Q&A visual, because Shanky chart includes source, settings, and the outcome. At that point of time, you would need it, right? The HR cognitive service integration. This I want to teach you because nowadays people are asking you whether you have basic ability of understanding Azure or not, right? So for that purpose, I will be taking at least a class or two class and would be discussing this and how you can merge these two things, Power BI and Azure connections, and what all can be utilized. Right, guys? Moving to the next slide. This is going to be a capstone project. Capstone project is nothing but whatever I'll be doing, you guys also be doing simultaneously. I'll be doing it on the screen, you guys be doing on the screen, or you guys can do it back at home. And by the end of the batch, you guys would have developed a capstone project. If you guys need, you can ask me for more data and I can tell you from where, what all are the sources where you can develop multiple projects. For your resume, you can connect with me on one-to-one basis. So basics, understanding your needs and your capabilities, I would guide you what sort of projects you want to you should build, how many projects you should build, right? Basically, I have experience of finance, healthcare, and e-commerce. So, of course, most of the projects are from these three industries only, right? These three domains only. I'll help you guys build as many projects you want to. But as part of this particular program, I'm supposed to help you make at least one project, right? That would be an e-commerce one. Yeah. And then what is next? Who will benefit the most? Who will benefit the most? Anyone curious about data? Anyone who is willing. So let me tell you one thing. Nowadays, approximate package for a fresher who knows Power BI is somewhere between 6 to 12 LPA. And I'm being very, very clear. We had a fresher in the room. If he is here till now also. So pretty the basic package that you get for if you know Power BI. Having said that, you know Excel and SQL also. But even if you know Excel and Power BI, basic package that you can expect for yourself is 6 to 12 LPA and much more. Okay. Depending upon your ability. But this is from my side what I'll be teaching non-IT professional freelancer. Once you know Power BI, you can scale up really, really well, right? Having said that, if it takes 4 months or 5 to 6 months to learn Python, it would take you barely 2 months or 1.5 to learn Power BI. It is this simple. But having said that, you guys do what I'm asking you to do by the end of each day. Because I'm gonna give you assignments, I'm gonna give you some questions. Learning content is going to be there. You guys need to practice and we will be able to make it. Any question, guys? Any question here and there, whatever you are free to ask. Guys, no question?
Okay, so no question from my side.
Okay.
Thank you for the nice presentation, and I look forward for an exciting class with you.
Okay. So just wait for it because I'm going to show you a Power BI file also. How does a Power BI dashboard looks like? Anyone else? You guys, you want to ask something or you want to inquire about anything? Rakesh, Sami, who all I have? Bhavani, Anulekha, you guys, none of you guys have any question? Okay. So I assume none of you guys have any question. Cool. Here I have a sample file for you guys. Let me show it to you. Guys, are you guys there or like most of you have leave it?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm there.
Okay. You guys are okay.
I'm here.
Was this session interactive or like you guys, none of you guys have any questions? Cool.
Sorry. Hey, Parth.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I just was on mute for a bit, and I was going through the presentations you were showing, and is that like, was the time decided?
Time as in the course duration or the time for the class?
Time for the class.
Yeah, it is 9 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. And
The
how
time is
long like how long, meaning like how many, like
the
you do the,
duration of the class, right?
Mhm.
It would
It's
be
one
from
of,
my end, it is 40 to 50 days. If you guys want it, you guys would have doubts for it, I can extend it for like, from my end, it can be extended based on your doubts, but from my end, it would be roughly 40 to 50 days. In 50 days, I plan to cover up entire syllabus. Okay, whatever things I've told you. So let me tell you this one thing. All these things are very, very indicative. None of it is exhaustive. Once you guys are there in the batch, once we start teaching everything, I'll be sharing the entire curriculum with you on for day-to-day basis. You would get to know what I'm going to learn today, so that you can also Google something if you want to, whatever you want to. Although I don't agree with too much, going to YouTube also and then learning from here also. If you guys have subscribed to this particular batch, this particular course, please be here for at least 2 months. Give me 2 months and I am take this guarantee to teach you each and everything from the raw. Because what happens sometimes people come with some sort of um, information, half information, whatever, less or more from YouTube, right? And then they like ask things in between. So it becomes very dicey to solve that out of the person or to teach and rest of the batch. So my suggestion would be, even if you have curriculum with you, right? Even if you know the thing, please wait for the session to end. Please wait for me to teach that topic to you. So once you are convinced, once you are able to grasp the things from absolute basics to the advanced, then you are open to ask. I'm like here to answer all your questions and queries. But that is what my approach is. Have I answered you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Any question?
So I just want to know, like, I did see. Can you just go on your slides? You talked about OLAP and all of those things, but
Hmm.
looks like why is OData not there?
Wise?
OData.
Okay. Basically, because you don't need it. I'll be teaching initially, even I'm teaching this OLTP and OLAP, particularly for the introduction only. You don't need to deal with the data in terms of the type and technicalities of the data. All you need to know is what is OLTP, what is OLAP. Once you have this data, so basically why I'm telling you this. Recently I worked on a project where we are getting the transactional data, right? And then we have to
Mm.
make a separate project for transactional data only. And the data, for that we have to use a particularly different software, not the BI. But what happens that half of the people in my team had no idea what is OLTP, what is OLAP. Okay, then why do I need transactional data? What happens to that? What is this entire data warehouse? In this entire data warehouse, where is this OLTP? How does this get stored? How does this OLAP get stored? What are the data marts? How am I pulling data? So my idea is to teach you these concepts so that any person who doesn't know these data points should know these data points. So if in future you are building anything based on any transactional data, you should be able to do it, right? That is what my point is. As far as your question is concerned, we won't be needing that much. Why we won't
Okay.
need it? Because once you have pulled the data here, once you have pulled the data here, right, your job is done. It is the job of the data engineer to manage the pipelines and to figure it out with the under the guidance of the manager what all data has to be put in the pipeline. Your job as a Power BI developer or as a data analyst is not to look at that part. Your job here is to look at this part. How I'm going to transform it, how I'm going to make substantial changes here. Okay, this
Strategic
is
decisions. Okay.
okay. That is what that
So
is why.
can
Yeah, yeah.
so you okay? Sorry, I just interrupted you. Please.
No,
I
no, please,
asked.
please ask.
So yeah, I did see these. Can you just open back that model or that schemas that you had? You just opened it up, right? Just a minute ago when you said clicked on. No, no, not here. You opened the modeling scheme in within Power BI.
Okay,
Was that?
the model view.
No, no. I think it was the schemas probably. Yeah, yeah, transform data. So are
Okay.
these the schemas or what are these? These the tables that we create to store them?
So this is the place, this is the Power Query where I have, so basically the, you are getting this error, I'm getting this error because
Like,
like I have shifted data. Okay. This is an old project. Okay. So what happens? Whenever I pull data, whenever I pull any Excel file or when I pull any data from the SQL, right? I have
mhm.
to ensure I am making some changes here. Do you see the applied steps?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm making some changes here. Can you
Okay.
see whatever the changes I'm making, you will get to see here in the applied steps, right? That is the point. of having this Power Query, I make some changes. As I told you, we are gonna get some 50 columns. We don't need it. We need only 20 columns. But then we need 25 also. We need 5 more columns which are not there in the data. We need to create them. Okay, they can be as simple as conditional column, as simple as custom columns, but whatever the requirement is, let me tell you something. We are not going to deal with something which is very complicated or very tough. We are going to understand how to make things very simple and make it super easy for the model to understand, right? So when you're pulling data here in the using Excel, or whether you're doing it using SQL, or for that matter SharePoint, Azure, whatever you're doing, you're not going to keep all of the data. You are going to keep only data which is needed for the further development of this dashboard, right?
Okay. Makes sense.
If there's any one column, literally even any one column which says, because see, here when we'll be dealing with the demo data, it would barely have say 10,000 rows, 5,000 rows. But when you're going to deal with the data, in reality, it would have million rows, right? And the only reason why we are using Power BI, we are learning Power BI, or I am working as a Power BI developer, because Power BI can handle 1 million, 2 million, 5 million rows simultaneously. Excel cannot. What is the limit for Excel for the rows?
For the rows, I don't know. It's
Okay, you guys can search it, but we do have limit for the rows. Excel cannot handle anything above 1 million. It starts crashing, right? Okay. So there are some failures with the Excel, and then couple of failures with the SQL also. So that is the reason. As I
okay.
told
Makes
you,
sense.
okay. So we are about to end the session for today. But before we do that, so this is a sort of a project which we will build. This is how it looks like, right? Now I'm
Mm.
getting these sort of say top one product by profit, top one product by total order, whatever things I'm getting, right? Now these things comes from the manager. You will get a knowledge transfer document from the manager for any project where you will understand which and what all sort of KPIs I need to build for my dashboard. Okay. And then you will build it. Then you will build it. Again, as I told you, what is KPI? It says it will give you something which is a sort of a parameter which you need to see every day and immediately, right? Top one product by profit. Profit keeps on changing month to month, right? It is not going to remain same for every month, right? So if I change it to 2021, right, see, it has changed. Okay. All the data points have changed. The moment I'm shifting years, all the data points are changing. Okay. If you look into it, it was green earlier. It was green here and then it turned into red. I told you about conditional formatting here. Okay. If you guys remember, somewhere here I told you about conditional formatting, where I told you specifically that in the name of conditional formatting, I won't be teaching you something. Yeah, somewhere here it was conditional formatting. I told you this, applying conditional formatting tooltips for better understanding, right? When I'm saying this, please don't misunderstand it by making a conditional formatting which we learn in Excel on tables. This is the sort of conditional formatting which I'll be teaching you guys. Something has changed, some parameters have changed and it looks red. Something was here different, which it makes it looks 5, right? It makes it look green because there was a goal given to it and the goal achieved, goal not achieved. These sort of things you are going to build as a Power BI developer, as a data analyst. These sort of parameters you need to learn how to build them. Okay. So this is just a sample report. There can be many in a real. So I told you in the initially, there's a difference between dashboard and report. So this is one dashboard. Okay. This is one dashboard. Multiple dashboards make it a report. Okay. So this is how it looks like. And in real report, it can go up to 50 or 100 dashboards, whatever the requirements are. So again, whatever it may be. But we will be building this sort of report where we will be having these parameters, which I'll discuss with you. Total order by gender, by income level. So if you remember, I told you we make a custom column where we categorize people having different incomes as moderate, low, or high, right? That is how we use making conditional columns. Total order by age. Again, you can do a sort of customization using groups. If you guys remember, I told you groups and summary here in the Power Query. Yep. Group and summarize. So the knowledge of these things is going to be used here. See, I've categorized 40 to 60, 61 to 70, whatever you can. You can do it using DEX also, conditional formatting also, and in Power Query also. One thing can be achieved using 2 or 3 different ways. It is up to your smartness and your knowledge what you are going to do. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Just one thing. Just tell me where, because I know just we're short of time. So
Mm-hmm.
probably 2019 or 18, I like initially used with SAP connection with OData, with HANA database. But then
Mm-hmm.
after that, completely moved out of even doing any
ఇప్పుడు
report.
రాదు అది ఒక
It was more,
15 days 1 month పడుతుంది అయితే
it
అట్లా
was,
జుట్టు వేస్తాను.
Okay, I would
it
like
was
to
more,
ask
So what
if
kind of
people.
hairstyle am I supposed to have?
నేను చేస్తా కదా.
Like
Okay,
what?
Vani
I
guys,
can't even drive that.
sorry. Okay.
Okay, shocking.
So I've been more on SAC, SAP Analytics reporting, and then I think some people were using Infor, EPDM. So there are so many tools, right? Like we have,
Right.
currently we have both Power BI and Celonis. I'm not sure if you've heard about Celonis,
Okay.
Celonis as well. And it's really a drastic thing between both. It's
Mm-hmm.
so many modeling, so many processes, and all of that. I just can name so much. Currently, backend somewhere in Snowflake or Data Lake, the data is
Mm-hmm.
reproduced from the main database. We store everything there and we use it for reporting, and it's always a day, maybe 24 hours data gets pushed into it. So something like this. What and currently Copilot, yeah, we have professional Copilot license. How do you
Mm-hmm.
think using Power BI, what is I do see there is going to be a future now because now Copilot is all increasing, business cases,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. How can Copilot help on Power BI?
So I tell you, Copilot is our personal assistant. Hmm. Please let me be very clear with each one of you and everyone. Please have this clear idea in your mind. Don't ever think this Copilot or the AI sort of things are going to replace you, are going to make entire end-to-end report for you. The data which we are dealing here is very the data which we are using here is very, very limited, right? So today you can go and ask Copilot, hey, I'm facing error in this calculate function, this text is not working, give me better ideas. It will give you better ideas. But if
Okay,
tomorrow you start thinking it is going to make entire report for you, it can create any connections with you, so it cannot it cannot go to data model and handle this sort of data. Trust
understood.
me.
Yep.
So it cannot
I
go and
know.
decide which modeling has to be done. So Copilot sort of things can help you. You can come here, you can ask Copilot, please, can you evaluate my this particular DEX query? You can give scenarios, it can create DEX for you. You can give scenarios, it can create DEX for you. But if you by any chance assume or you be in that impression that it would do things for you, no, it won't. It won't. As of
Okay.
now, it is not so capable. And let me tell you one thing. In my firm, we were trying to replicate some sort of we used an AI LLM. If you know LLM, what LLM is, it is large language model, right? Now that we were trying to use that LLM to do some sort of automation for a database. What it did, it deleted an entire database on its own, right? So trust me, data is the new oil for each and every company, and they cannot give everything in the hand of AI or in the hand of Copilot. As of now, and as of for 20 to 25 years, what I can see or what my seniors, even we also have word with, we discuss these things in details. We don't see any future that Copilot will overtake us or would overtake entire report making system. Copilot for now cannot even overtake Excel, right? Had that been the case, why would we need Power BI? So I hope I've
Okay.
answered you.
Yeah, yeah, you have. Just tell me, compared with all the other tools in the market for data analytics, like let's say
Yeah, yeah.
Databricks and all of that, where does Power BI stand?
On the top.
You sure?
I'm
There's not.
100% sure. I'll tell you one thing. See, what's a good name, sir?
Yeah, Rakesh.
Rakesh. See, Mr. Rakesh, we will never we doing such sort of comparison often makes no sense. But still, when you're doing it, I will tell you this. Power BI is the product of Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Why the entire world is using Excel? Why not WPS Office, right? Why not Google Sheets only? Again, because that Microsoft Office, Microsoft has built a product which is again backed by Microsoft. And if you know something, we have Microsoft Fabric, which has been introduced by Microsoft now. So at Microsoft Fabric, what they have done, they have clubbed all whatever we knew, whatever the data engineer, data scientist, or the data analyst can do. All they have merged all those facilities on the Microsoft Fabric, and they are
Mhm.
making it a way too easy tool so that all the people from all the like there are only three data domains, right? Engineer, data analyst, and the data scientist. All these people can come on a platform and do all the processing then and there only. So that is why I would say that I wouldn't say it is the best or it is these sort of comparisons. These makes no sense. But it is something which is backed by Microsoft. And as of now, like many people or the companies at large are using Microsoft only, Power BI only, which because it is backed by Microsoft. And why I'm saying this again, backed by Microsoft, because see, Excel given by Microsoft has won for more than 30, 40 years, right? Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of belief, trust, and understanding comes when such a product comes in a market. Again, we have Tableau, we have many different softwares. I'm not saying they are not good, they're equally good. Many companies like MasterCard, many companies like Atlassian, they use our Tableau only, or for that matter, even my firm was using the current firm, I mean, it was using Tableau only previously. Then they moved to Power BI, they
What is
moved,
it? Is it Tableau?
yeah, it is Tableau.
Okay, I haven't used it. So you're saying W or is it Tableau? That's
It
what.
is Tableau, it is Tableau,
Oh, okay,
Tableau.
fine.
So
Yeah, doesn't
even
that's fine.
So my firm also came from Tableau to Power BI only, and then I joined this particular firm. That is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
When something comes from Microsoft, something comes from as a giant like Microsoft, the world relies on it because we are dealing with so much data. We are dealing with so much of IT, right? So that is why you can rely on it. And trust me, I'm no astrologer to tell you if 30 years next, what will be the future of Power BI. But I can tell you when if Excel stands to 30 years down the line or 40 years down the line, so you can trust with Power, you can have the same sort of trust with Power BI also, right?
Yeah, and how is it compared with Lookup, Google?
No, Power BI, trust me, bro, Power BI is something which cannot be even compared with them. It is far better. Even I tried to learn many of the other softwares, but I was never in Tableau. You cannot go here and see. I need to create this graph. I'll go here. I'll put the visualization. Okay. I'll bring calendar DM. I can choose any of the column from here. I can choose any of the category from here, and I can run any sort of whatever sort of data I need. I can bring it here. Man, it
Mm.
takes a lot of effort on Tableau. I'm not joking at all. Pause this session, go on YouTube, see how to build a pie chart on Tableau and how to build a pie chart on Power BI. You will have an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Because
fine. I've not used Tableau at all, but we actually the firm in did
mm,
Celonis for about we spent about 4 5 million, and then now we're killing it. We're going back to Power BI. So
that is what I'm saying. Bro, people make try the sense of trust and the sense of idea which comes with Microsoft Power BI. Power BI keeps on rolling updates every 6 months, 2 months, 3 months, 1 month. So it is that fast. Even I have tried
oh,
to learn Tableau. I tried to learn different things, but I never found myself so comfortable as I am comfortable with Power BI. Power BI technically is known as no coding tool, but then again, then there's some sort of coding which is known as DEX. But trust me, many things, it makes things easier for you also and for me also. And that
no,
is for that reason, the usability is much higher in the IT sector because the data handling capacity is much higher for Power BI. Cool.
no problem. Yeah, thanks so
Anyone
much. I think
else? Yeah,
yeah,
thanks. Chill. Anyone else, guys? Anulekha, Bhavani, you guys want to ask something, tell something? Samir? Okay. No one?
Yeah.
will the sessions be recorded?
Yeah, they will be.
Okay, probably I might miss some day or two, but then yeah, I just wanted to see because I gotta now leave. Be
Okay.
7:30 to 8:30 in the morning for me. But anyways, yeah. Thanks, Path. I gotta leave to work. We'll catch up
Cool.
later. Thank you. Bye.
Sure. Anulekha, Bhavani, you guys?
For me, it's like a new module. I'm not getting, but really, I'm saying, yeah, upcoming. I need to.
Okay. Okay, cool. But are you able to get anything like in the entire 1 hour? Were you able to have any insights on what we will learn, where Power BI stands? Anything could you
Yeah, I
like?
can see like a Power BI tool and query tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. I just I
Okay,
am
good. So I hope
I'm
you had a like you have spent your 1 hour here, so I assume that you had a meaningful session, right? Something
yeah, but
you got.
every one point I'm getting so many questions. I don't know anything the words also. So yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is Bhavani, the things is happen if I keep it very basic, it for someone who is experienced or someone who has post data experience, they are like, okay, I am teaching something very basic. So I need to tell people that whatever and what all they will get to learn by the end of the session, right? But my prime job is, as I told you, is to make you a Power BI developer where you will be using data to develop reports, nothing else. Initially, we were doing it on Excel. Then as the data boom came, we started using Power BI, right? So if one
Yeah.
thing you need to take from this session is this only, we are doing nothing else but building reports. Simple, right?
Then how can I learn from basic? From basic, is there anything?
I'll honestly teach you from basics now.
But so many are high experience in this, right?
No. So I'll tell you something. If they are experienced, so they will wait and they will be there till the end. Doesn't matter. See, let me be very clear. Rakesh is gone, although, but with you guys, I'm going to teach start from absolute A to absolute Z, right? I told you what was the point of having that entire PT is that only I'll be teaching you each and everything from the basics, and we will be spending more time on basics only because it is only the basics which we use in certain way and makes are able to solve complex problems, right? It is not any complex formula in your head will solve complex problems. It is just basics which you need to know how to use when and how. Basic things you need to know when to use when and how, and you will be solving most of the problems, right? That is what the thing
Yeah.
is. So please
Thank you so much.
don't have this image in your mind that you are going to learn something absolutely rocket science. At the end of the day, also you are learning Power BI, a business intelligence tool by the name, a reporting tool by for your understanding, and you will be developing reports for the client, right? Whoever your client is. As simple as that. I wouldn't be using any jargons in the class. That is why I made this PPT on my own because I was not willing to have any jargons from the Microsoft website. I didn't wish you guys to get confused and then interrupt me and ask me something which looks so complicated what this word looks like. That is why I have kept things very, very simple. And I would suggest you guys to ping me if you at any point of time feel okay, this is becoming complicated. I'll teach you in even a much more simpler. I'll break it in much more simpler levels. But my at the end of the day, my goal is that you should know Power BI. As simple as that. I
Yeah.
hope I have cleared it your doubt, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Cool. Hope to see you in session. Anyone else? Anulekha, Ansaha.
Yeah, so I am having a question actually. So,
Mm-hmm.
as you said that we can pull data from various sources, like suppose the database or maybe the APIs, or Excel, and then where is the data getting stored? Like when we are going to generate reports, I have to generate a single report using the various data sources. So how can I is there a central repository or anything where the data is getting stored, and from there I am pulling the data and visualizing that in the
It is,
reports?
yeah, it is Vertipack engine. The storage
Okay.
engine of Power BI is Vertipack engine. It stores all the data. Not depends upon you whether you import just the image or entire data. So we will learn. So for what do I mean by that? Let me share my screen and you will get it.
She's bit getting panicked because a lot of us have been questions. I think we'll all learn together. And
No, it's absolutely fine. No worries. Let them. I'm here to solve your doubts only. So basically here it is transform data and then we have this Power Query. Okay. We pull data, we transform it here, but let me show you this. When we are pulling data from SQL,
Mhm.
it will give you a couple of options. Whether you want to import, see, it says import or direct query.
Okay.
Whether you want to import entire data set or you want to just do a direct query. What is the difference? The
So
difference
what
is
is
here.
okay?
Yeah. The
Mhm.
difference
Yeah,
is
yeah.
here you're here you are getting entire data set. Okay.
Okay.
You can here write us entire SQL query and trust me, we do this only in the on the day-to-day basis. We write a SQL query. We never import entire data. Like we use the import only, but we write a SQL query because in the SQL server we have very, very bulky data. Very bulky data. It has
Okay.
hundreds of
Okay.
columns. So we write a SQL query, filter data here, or and then we import it. What does it mean by direct query? What does it mean that? It means the data is going to be stored in SQL only. Power BI Vertipack engine will not create the image of this data because you have not imported it. It is direct query. So it is
Okay. Okay.
stored in the SQL only, but we are using it here to build this particular visuals. Okay. And okay, am I clear? Are you able to understand it?
Yeah, I understood. But like I need to do this hands-on in order to get more clear
Yeah, but
picture.
basically,
Yeah.
could you get the idea? Am I able to answer
Yeah,
your
yeah, I
question?
got the idea. Yeah,
You got the idea, no? So
yeah,
we
yeah.
store the data in the Vertipack engine when we are pulling the entire data, but when we are not pulling the data, we are just getting an image of it. The data is
Mm-hmm.
stored in the SQL Server or Azure, or we use mostly SQL only. 99% time we use SQL. In the 1% time we use Azure, but it depends on your firm also, right? Maybe your firm is using Azure. So for that matter,
Okay.
that is why I'll teach you how to use Azure. But again, that is something way too simple, not a complicated logic, right? The idea of pulling data, you can pull from any number of sources. You can pull the data source from the already published report also. I told you in the beginning also. So suppose you've published a report earlier, 5 months back,
Mhm.
we need to use similar sort of data model. This data model, the data model is similar. You can pull that report only and
Okay.
make a new report out of it. So that is known as data flow, data load. Okay, we'll learn about it. Anyone else?
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Any question? Guys, a yes or a no can really help.
We're good. Thanks. I'll drop.
Good time for. Okay, I couldn't. Will the data shared be shared to us? Of course, yes. Data shared will be shared with you. Data set. Data set will be shared with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, people. Thank you so much. Hope to see you guys tomorrow. Same time, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Right? Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Uh,
Thank you.
Perfect.